Hello everyone. Happy Monday. There we go. There's my light. How is everyone doing today? I am a lot better than I was yesterday. I woke up and I had this sneeze attack. I don't know where it came from, but it did. So I'm better today. I am not sneezing, and the waterfall has pretty much cut off since yesterday. And today's a better day. Let me see who's coming in. Hi, Lisa and Jessica and Terry and Susan. How are you all? While we're waiting on our guests to come on, hi, Catherine. I just want to remind you tonight is the night. It's the deadline. Um, Tonight is the deadline to purchase your t-shirts. If you want your t-shirt in the first round, the absolute deadline is March the 11th, but we're going to turn in an order tomorrow morning, and we're going to turn in an order on March the 11th. So you still have time if you haven't ordered your t-shirt yet. The t-shirts go towards the proceeds from the t-shirts go towards endowments for the International Nanny Training Day. So help your village, please, please, please help your nanny sisters and nanny brothers go to International Nanny Training Day. And I want to thank you all who have bought the t-shirts, who have made donations, who have given me tickets. It's just been overwhelming, the love that you all are sharing, and I know I appreciate it, and I'm sure the nannies who are the recipients of this will appreciate it too. Hello everyone who just came in. Also, thank you for my participants who participated in my little game on the other day with the pink zebra lemon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Your shipment will be going out on tomorrow, so be expecting it probably by Thursday. So let me know when you get it and how you like it. And if you haven't registered for the International Nanny Training Day, some of them are up and some of them are not. Go to nannypalooza.com. There is a list of training days that are currently open. The rest of them will be opening soon. It's across 43 different cities. So, hi Janet, how are you? It's across 43 different cities, so get registered, get registered, get registered. Those of you who need some help registering, please let either the organizers where you are know that you need help, or send me a PM and let me know you need help, and we will see about getting you some help so everyone can have an opportunity to go to and get some professional development training. We all need to grow. Never stop learning, never stop growing. You know me. Okay, so last but not least, happy Valentine's Day. I won't see you all until next week after President's Day, but happy Valentine's Day. Can we get some hearts going? Can y'all just hit the little heart button and get some hearts going? Happy Valentine's Day. Also, while I'm thinking about it, go down to the bottom of your screen and hit the share button. Share with your friends, share with your nanny groups. This is going to be our Ask the Parent series tonight. It's going to be kind of quick, so do it now because we have to respect our parents' time. We as nannies, we just got off work, so we're relaxing. But as parents, they have taken over, so they are on duty, should I say. They're on parent duty, so we're going to be respectful of their time, and we're going to invite them on. Let me see if I can find Mom Boss and Dad Boss. There they are. Hold on, let me grab. Uh-oh, I hit the wrong button. There we go, that one. Now, hit the accept button, it will bring you up on the screen. It says it's adding. Let's see. There they are. Hi, how are you?
How are you?
Great.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, everybody, for the sake of this video, we're calling them Mom Boss and Dad Boss. So, tell us a fun fact about yourself.
I'll start. So I'm big into music. I play guitar, and so when we had babies, or when we found out we were pregnant, I started singing to the babies early to get them a musical ear from birth. So that's trying to pass that on.
And I like to work out. I do Pilates, yoga, run. Slowly getting back into it now that I am postpartum. But yeah, that's my fun fact.
Okay, good. Now, tell us, how is parenthood going?
It's going great.
Yeah, it's going great. We have twins, so our baby boy and baby girl are really doing great. And it's been just fun adjusting to life with them throughout past couple months.
Yeah, it's been great.
Good. Now, tell us, did you have a lot of help when the babies were born?
Yes, we did. My mother-in-law, his mom moved here for 3 months. She actually rented an apartment through Airbnb across the street to help us.
Wow.
She's here, 7 a.m. until our night nanny gets here. And we also have my mom lives down the street. My sister lives down the street. So we have a lot of help. And then starting last week, unexpectedly, I had a day, someone start helping me, and nanny start helping me during the day. And my mother-in-law is actually training her. So yeah, a lot of help. Yeah, more help.
Can be painful.
Yeah, but it takes a village, literally. So.
Okay, so how important, I know you said all your family is here. How important is it that your family help you with the babies? How important is family to you all?
I think it's very important. We're very fortunate and lucky just to have them here.
Okay, you froze on me. I'm not sure what just happened. Can you all hear them? Because I can't hear them. Okay, so I'm going to close this out. Just a second. Let me invite them back in and see. Uh-oh, they dropped off. Hang on. Let's see if we can get them back. Uh, I don't know what just happened. Okay, let's see if I can get them back. Uh-oh, I spelled that wrong. Okay, they're back. Now, let's see. Let me see if I can get them on and add them back in.
Okay. I don't know what happened.
I have no what happened. internet. Just
Yeah.
so you were saying
Yeah.
about the
Yeah, family's really important. That was the question, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Family's really important to us to help. We're really fortunate. You know, his mom's near, and you know, she's so great with kids, and you know, my mom's near, and they get along with each other, which is, you know, extremely rare. I don't know any mother-in-laws that get along with each other. So I think it's the Hispanic bond, um, but yeah, they get along. They're here, you know, my mom just left and she had been here a couple hours. So, yeah, it's really important to have family involved. It really makes a big difference.
Yeah.
You can be honest with family, you know, so, it's really great. They're really awesome.
So tell me, when you were looking for your nanny and your night nanny and your daytime nanny, was it important to you? You just said that you all were a bilingual family. Was it important to you to have your children to be bilingual and to have help with that aspect?
Yes. It's more important to me, I think, than
Yeah,
Drew, but
she's a fluent. She was raised speaking Spanish from being a baby.
yeah, my mom only speaks to me in Spanish. My nanny growing up only spoke to me in Spanish. It's been a huge asset to me, um, growing up, and you know, it's just part of my culture. So it's really important to me. My mom is one of 10 kids, and you know, she's one of the only ones that, no, she is the only one that married an American. So all of my cousins speak Spanish, and so it's really important that our kids speak Spanish. That being said, it was extremely high on our list for the nanny to speak Spanish, but it wasn't. If we found the perfect person and they didn't speak Spanish, I would just have to speak Spanish and my mom would have to speak Spanish. But you know, it was extremely important, but not like we would have turned down the perfect candidate if they had all checked all the boxes except that. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about you, Dad?
Yeah. Well, for me, my mother's actually was raised in Colombia and she's fluent speaking Spanish. So our moms get along great because of that. But I was raised not speaking Spanish. So I learned, you know, Spanish growing up in Texas. I took it in high school. So I have like a basic understanding and I can understand a bit and I can speak a bit. But for me, it was maybe a bit more of a you know, I wanted a situation where I could at least communicate with the nanny. So Spanish only was something that was maybe more concerning to me than it was to her, but only just because I wanted to be able to at least communicate the basics with a nanny in the event that there was an emergency or if
I was
if she
unavailable.
was unavailable. So that was kind of my criteria. I appreciated the aspect of kind of keeping that tradition within the family, but also wanted to at least be able to communicate on basic terms. So that was important to me.
So do you all speak Spanish to the babies now?
I do when the day nanny is here. Yes.
And her mother does
And my
primarily.
mom only, you know, almost only speaks Spanish to the babies. So,
Okay. So they're learning right now about Spanish and different languages.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good because I mean, I teach American Sign Language to babies, baby sign language, and to me, it's important that they start as early as possible, simply because their brains are like little sponges and they soak it all up. So by the time they get ready to talk, they because they're speaking two languages and they have to translate. Sometimes people say it's a language delay, but to me, it's not a language necessarily a language delay as it is a do I speak English to her or do I speak Spanish to her? Do I do sign language to him or do I do sign language to her? because children know who speaks Spanish and who doesn't. I've worked with families before who spoke German, and mom spoke German to the kids, but they turned around and spoke English to me and they pretty much told me, you don't know German, so we can't speak German to you. We have to speak English to you. So I kind of felt left out for a minute, but I learned some German words and I learned a few, other words, and I learned to understand the German. So I understand how important it is for children to start early and then they become fluent in it. So tell us about uh, what was a factor um, when you were searching for a nanny. I know you were looking. You said it wasn't um, on your box for the Spanish, but did age have anything to do with it? Did you want a seasoned nanny, or did you want someone who was younger, or how did that play?
I mean, honestly, I've babysat since I was, really young. And so I don't think age per se was the primary factor. Seasoned, yes, but I feel like you can be seasoned and be, not that, not that old. You could have a lot of experience and be, in your 20s. I mean, the most important to us was professionalism. So most times with that takes age, just being professional with us, taking the job really seriously, not having other distractions was really the most important thing to us. So we definitely interviewed people different, varying ages. So I definitely wanted seasoned, but it wasn't, I don't want someone that's, 20 years old, like no matter what. It was just the experience was definitely necessary, especially with twins. And we're first time parents. So,
Yeah, I think we were looking for someone to learn from, and in a lot of cases, like to her point, we were open to talking to a range of people, but by and large, we gravitated towards people with more experience, just because it comes experience builds the professionalism, but also as new parents and really trying to learn from someone, sometimes it takes someone who's helped raise a lot of kids, and has had
and that takes
a
years.
range of experience. So that was important too, is just kind of an understanding of someone who's been there and done that, not only with a number of babies, but in our case with twins before.
Yes, I've been there and done that because I consider myself seasoned, but I'm not old. I think I'm old, but I know that my children are grown, and I have grandchildren who are uh, almost to the double digits. So, but I still don't consider myself. Oh, I do consider myself a professional, and I do consider myself a someone that has old school ways. And when I say old school, I mean um, sometimes when children, you just, it's just an instinct that you just know what's wrong with this child, that you just know, okay, so it's not this, it's not that. I bet you it's this because you've been there and you've done that many times before. And pretty much it usually is, if you go your gut and your instinct, that's usually what it is. And we just do things, a little different than younger the younger nannies. I'm not saying that they don't have experience. I'm not saying that they don't know what they're doing. It's just that older, seasoned nannies, we kind of take pride in, we may not be young, but we know what we're doing and we get there a whole lot quicker. So tell us about your situation with your nanny. I know you have a unique situation with your nanny. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. So it's actually was my nanny growing up. She was in her um, early 20s when she started watching me and my little sister and my 6-week-old brother. Um, so she was with us. I mean, she's been with our family since my brother was born on my mom's 45th birthday, so he's 11 years younger than me. But since I was 11, since before I was 11, because, well, no, I guess it was since I was 11 because she started at 6 weeks. So 22 years she's been with our family. And she, um, went off and had her own kids and started just, cleaning houses just so that she could raise her children and clean while they were in school. But she has, we were able to come to the agreement that she take care of our kids. So we're really ecstatic about it. When she found out we were interviewing, she asked if we would consider her, and I didn't even know it was an option. So yeah, I mean, it was the best possible situation that could have occurred for us. So
Wow, that's incredible. Because if I was babysitting, I guess my cousins, her mom died when she was young, and I ended up helping to raise her. And then when she had her babies, she called me. She said, "Can you come to Atlanta? Don't you want to help raise your grandbabies?" So it was kind of like I was their third grandmother. So do you feel that way about your nanny because she helped to raise you and your brother and your sister?
yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, it was a tough pill to swallow for my mom that she wasn't going to be working at her house anymore. But um, but it's fun that, my mom comes over, and, her name's Nathy, so Nathy's here. And it's really a comfortable situation, because, uh, not all personalities mesh. We've been very fortunate with our night nanny that we get along very well, but, that doesn't happen all the time. And we're both working parents, and so to be able to trust someone completely when we're both at work is just, um, it makes, the job way easier, and it makes us feel a lot more comfortable while we're gone.
I
uh,
mean, just the interview process with nannies is it's stressful on the parents as well.
yeah, it's really stressful.
Trying to find the right person, and the schedules are right, and the budgets fit, and the criteria fit. And so
We interviewed quite a few people for night
yeah.
nanny and for day nanny, and we were very lucky and fortunate with the night nanny. But I'll tell you, one night of day nanny interviews, and I was, kind of freaking out.
Kind of fell in your lap.
Reconsidering staying at home. So
My goodness.
yeah, so
Was it that bad?
excuse me.
I said, was it that bad?
It was pretty bad. It was pretty, I mean, there were no callbacks, I'll tell you that much.
Okay. Okay. See, this is what we need to know. This is why we ask the parents so we can find out what exactly we're doing wrong so that we can become more professional and that we can bring our A game to the table. Because sometimes when we go to an interview and we just assume, we're dressed for the part, we have our best A game on, but our personalities or something that we say or something that we do clashes with the parents. And it's not that all nannies are bad, are bad nannies. We just don't mesh with the parents. So if you had that many people that many nannies that you interviewed with, it. Oh, Amy said, did you use an agency?
No, we actually used Facebook forum in our city, um, and put an ad up there and had, quite a few people respond, and interviewed 4 over the phone. The rest were by, all written email or Facebook Messenger. But the 4 on the phone that were the best when they filtered through the writing, the writing exchange, were it was not ideal. They were not ideal candidates, and it wasn't so much like I don't expect to be, have the best connection with the nanny, but just the professionalism kind of, jumps over that barrier. If you're professional, I know it's your job, and not everybody has a personality where you're going to be best friends for life. But if you're professional and we can respect you and we know we can trust you, that's all that really matters. Not so much that.
Yeah, one thing I'll say, like, I work in a corporate job, and I interview people a lot that we're considering bringing into the company. And many years ago, I kind of came to this conclusion. I wondered for a long time if I was a bad interviewer, because I'd get candidates come in and I wasn't sure if they were good or not, and I like put it on myself. And then finally, when we got good people coming in, I learned that it's kind of on the interviewee to project, the person being interviewed, to project why they're the right person, and put forward their credentials. And so ever since I learned that, I kind of became more comfortable with the fact that sometimes it just takes time to find the right people. And like, so if we're comparing that example to like
Yeah.
the night nanny process, like the night nanny who we ended up going with came in with a full portfolio,
They were interviewing us.
with
So
with,
yeah.
with references. Yeah, there was like, we didn't even, because we're, didn't know what we didn't know, like, that it was kind of like almost a two-way interview that was in a sense comforting, because you're kind of, okay, I should be thinking about these types of things. And then, frankly, like very, very punctual and on time, like literally to the minute, whereas we had other people who would,
No show.
yeah, we had no-show interviews. We had people who rescheduled on us, which, that's what we're not looking for when we're looking for a nanny. So just having seen, having done it at work and then seeing what worked through the night nanny process, I think, to me, like, made it easier when it came to the nanny, of like, okay, this isn't feeling right, because they're not coming prepared, or they're not coming.
And that's a great point, Drew, because that's a great point, just because that was definitely something that was lacking in all the interviews for the day nanny. It was like the most awkward silence every time we asked a question, no follow-up questions, no, it was just trying to land the next job so desperately that it made me uncomfortable, instead of, it should be the right fit for you too. Are we the right family for you? Are you really going to be able to take care of our kids? Like, it's a really big responsibility. I mean, it's a huge responsibility. So you should be asking a lot of questions, like, what are your expectations? Um, what are some house rules you have? Just things like that. Like, what's important to you in a nanny? I mean, that's a very simple question that, we'd be able to, try to answer, but it would be a discussion point. And that was like all 4 interviews. It was just like, crickets the entire time, to the point where it's like, when I'm like, can't wait for this to be over, and that shouldn't be how you're feeling during an interview. Um, so yeah.
Okay, we have a couple of questions. I think you may have answered one. Uh, Amy wants to know, did any of the candidates have a resume or a portfolio?
For the night nanny, I think all of them did.
Yeah, I mean, some were much better than others. So, like, I would answer that we saw a broad range from probably nothing to like a one pager to a whole pamphlet that had references and photos. And you can imagine the one we went with had the full pamphlet with the references and photos. Because again, it was kind of like added to
Credibility.
the professionalism, the credibility, kind of the openness of this is what I've done with other families. And so, as opposed to maybe a couple paragraphs on a sheet of paper. So that yeah, I mean, I think that was
Yeah,
we saw
and
a
it's
range.
really important to keep a portfolio, especially when you're a night. Well, any nanny really. I mean, I would have appreciated it with the day nannies also, but night nanny especially. Keeping a portfolio is so key, and just, I mean, you should really. It's something, you know, it's a career choice, and you should be proud of your career. And I feel the same way about my profession is, you should be proud of your accomplishments and be able to demonstrate them, and they should be recorded. And it just makes the interview process so much easier. I mean, but yeah, with the day nannies, we got a couple resumes, and I've got to be honest, it wasn't super important to me with day nannies to have the resume, just because we were looking for something way different in a night nanny than a day nanny, I guess. So it shouldn't be hard to get references, and if I ask you questions, you should be able to answer them pretty easily. And that was something that was kind of lacking, but also the whole language, English as a second language was one of the reasons that the day nanny position, I wasn't that particular about the resumes over, but I would have wanted, yes, I would have wanted references. I would have wanted to do a background check, and, immunizations, like all those things are really important to just like off the bat, not have to answer those questions, so.
Right. Well, um, oh, she said, is your night nanny a NCS? Is your night nanny a newborn care specialist? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, you all may not be familiar with NCS. And also, I thank you for mentioning that, because I always say resume, portfolio. I even did a whole segment, a whole show about resumes and portfolios and how important it is parents know what you have done. And I always say a picture is worth 1,000 words, because in my personal portfolio, I have pictures. I have permission from the parents that the pictures that I have permission from the parents to show their children to other people. It's not like I'm taking it out on the street and say, "Hey, y'all, look at this." No, I take it to, as a profession, I take it to the parents that I'm interviewing with. I also take a mini portfolio, because to me, this is my, like you said, this is my profession, and I'm happy. I am proud of what I do. So that's why I always tell nannies, get a portfolio, get a portfolio, get a portfolio, even if it's like a little small one. Have something to show for yourself. Have something to present to the parents, because when you show up with nothing, I'm not saying that that's wrong, but who are they going to remember? The one who showed up with everything, like, and like Dad Boss said, with the pictures and the references. If you show up with everything and they have no questions, and they can just go right down the list and say bam, 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 that relieves the parent, in my opinion, of a lot of things. And I try to make it as easy as possible. And that's what I keep saying, get a resume, get a, and so I'm glad you all said that. So it's not just me saying that, telling them that. Parents are actually looking for this. So, Angel says, in Utah, my digital NCS portfolio goes a long way. I barely interview anymore. I just book wonderful NCS jobs. See, even if you send them a digital something on the computer, they can look it up. Save a tree, and even if they can look it up, it's still something that they can look at. It's still something that says, "This is who I am. This is what I do. I take pride in what I do, and I'm gonna be, if I was good for them, I'm gonna be just as good for you." It says a lot about you. I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, it says a lot about you. Get a resume, get a professional resume, and a portfolio. And if you need help, here I am. And I know a lot of people who do resumes, so contact me and I can get you in contact with them. Okay, so let me see what time it is. All right, one last question. Um, I think I asked them all. Okay. So you said the difference between your night nanny and your daytime nanny. You were looking for something totally different. Kate, would you mind sharing what you were looking for? If there was a particular difference that you were looking for as far as daytime to nighttime?
Nighttime, I definitely wanted someone that had experience with sleep training. Like I said, we're both working parents. We both work long hours, and so there's just a 0% chance we'd make it if we didn't have our babies sleeping through the night by the time I go back to work. So that was really important to me, and also. I mean, can you want to expand or you want me to keep going?
Oh, no, I mean, I think, yeah, sleep training was one, and then another is just with
Twin experience.
yeah, twin experience, and with kind of the more of the newborn specialties, just because they're our first kids, and we obviously took things like CPR training and things like that, but having someone who's super comfortable with that type of thing was important. Whereas the day nanny is more for us, because we are going to be both working parents. It's going to be a longer term situation where we want them for years, not a few months. And so the things that we'll be looking from that is more about helping manage the household, taking the kids to daycare, picking them up from school, things like that, even helping with shopping and cooking and cleaning. So almost a different skill set in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Not that they couldn't overlap, but in terms of what we were looking for.
And I mean, we have an open door policy with our family. So, my mom's work schedule is very flexible. His mom, will be coming, probably a week a month. And, my sister's work schedule is flexible. So, it's not like they won't have visitors during the day while we're at work. Um, but, but yeah, I mean, someone that knows infants. I mean, I've been around a lot of infants, but it's so different when it's your kids. So just knowing someone that's like, I mean, I think one of our questions for the nanny that was really important was like, have you ever been in an emergency situation and how did you handle it? And that's really important. And it really doesn't have to be like, that big of an emergency, but you could even say no, but I've taken every single class, to prepare myself for that. And so
Yeah, it was
that was
almost
really
like
important.
peace of mind, right? That
Yeah.
we're just kind of looking for someone who gives us the peace of mind that we can leave our babies with.
Yeah.
Great, 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 great. I thought I saw a question. Oh, Susan says so more than a nanny for daytime. Yes, because what you're describing, as far as your daytime nanny, is more like a household manager because she does, go shopping and takes the kids back and forth to school and keep up with the kids' schedules and all that. That's more of a daytime, uh, a nanny slash household manager and personal assistant, for doing all of those things. I think that's what Susan meant.
Yeah,
But
like I mean, she's primarily like 100, 99% most important is nanny. We'll have someone help with deep cleaning of the house and stuff, but just maintaining order in the house. And then, just like he said, just evolving in a couple of years. They're not going to preschool for, 2 years. So there won't be, the driving immediately, but it is, yes,
Yeah,
we
I think
want
it's
someone
like
that's going to grow with us and be with us, years and years.
yeah, in the near term, I think it'll be more like to your terms, more of traditional nanny, like in maybe the first year, and then it'll kind of transition over. And then to her point, with our her parents in town and my parents coming a lot in town a lot. Ideally, we're in a situation where if our parents are here, that they'll be kind of the nanny at the moment and get free up time for her. But we want to keep her,
Long
with
term.
us during that time, so that she's not getting, not paid for a day if the parents come in town, that type of thing. So having the ability to flex
Yeah,
into
flexible.
things that can help contribute if the babies are looked after for the day or for the week with the grandparents is something that's pretty helpful
Yeah,
and
definitely.
will help transition in the long run.
Yeah.
so you all have a whole village going on over there. Everybody's taking care. They will definitely be well loved and well cared for with grandmas and grandma nanny,
Mhm.
uh, and sisters and brother, uncles and aunts, and it sounds like the we always say it takes a village to raise a child, and it sounds like you have a great village going
Yeah,
on.
we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
The work definition is absolutely important. Oh, okay. Um, the nannies are they're chiming in and saying, about, the definition that you're talking about as far as nannies because in the nanny world, we have household managers, we have nannies, who take care of the children pretty much after school, but they do household duties, take care of the schedule, make sure the dog gets to the vet, uh, make sure the groceries are in the house, do food prep, all that stuff, pretty much household manager. And then in the afternoon, when the kids get home, another hat goes on and they become the nanny. And then, if, the kids are out of school and they need to go here or there or wherever, and they become the taxi driver for the kids. They become that soccer mom, with the sticker on the back of the car. So there are a lot of roles that we look at as nannies, and we see them differently than parents do. And so when you started mentioning all these things, that's why I was clarifying to say, household manager, but you explained it well how you want this to go, and however you work it out with your nanny, um, that's you know exactly what you want and how you want it and when you want it. So that's a good thing. And that's all we want to know is if our job role is going to change, we want to know it up front. We want to know, okay, so you need a nanny here, and then I switch over to this role, and then I switch over to that role. So that's what we're discussing. That's what all the comments are about. So that you will understand what is going on our side instead of you going, okay, so what are they saying? That's what we're talking about. So, but it is now 7:45, and I know that you have your babies to get to. I know you're on duty. So, thank you all for, being here and sharing your thoughts with us about, your process of finding a nanny and what's important to you when it comes to, hiring a nanny. I really appreciate you all joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you all have a great evening.
You too.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. Portfolio, resume. Please, please, please check your resume. Please, please, please. Uh, get your portfolio pictures, get permission first to have these pictures shown to other parents when you go on interviews. But as you can see, I'm not the only one that says, you got to show your personality. You got to uh, talk and show who you are, that you're eager to do the job and not just, okay, here's another job that pays a whole lot of money and I'm going to go for it. Parents look for different things in different nannies. I'm trying to find parents all over the United States, not just here where I live, that have opinions, that have, because it's different from one region to the next. But one thing is the same. The last parent that was here and this parent was here. Professionalism. Know what you're doing. Go in there with with confidence, not with the attitude, but with confidence that you know what you're doing and you are here to do the job and that you can do the job. Be friendly. Show your personality. Don't sit there and, like they said, crickets. And they ask a question and it's crickets. And they're waiting for the interview to be over and you're waiting for the interview to be over. That's one of the most difficult. I've been there and done that. And that's one of the most difficult things to do, is to sit through an interview that you really don't want to be on. So, yeah, get it together. And if you need help getting your things together, what goes into your portfolio, there I've seen so many different kinds of portfolios. It just depends on your personality and your style of nannying as to what you put in your portfolio. But the main things you need to have in there is your resume and have a contract. If you don't have a contract, and I should say work agreement. Parents don't like the word contract. They like work agreement. Get a work agreement. At least it is a place to start. Everything is not written in concrete. It's a place to start. It's just guidelines for you all to go by. And when you discuss the work agreement with the family, go into detail. Don't be afraid to ask, what does this mean? If they say, well, we want a nanny and then eventually a house manager or a personal assistant, ask the questions. What does this mean? What does this mean? And when is this going to happen? What is the timeline? So that you will know personally what's going on and you won't be blindsided and say, well, I mentioned it to you in the interview. Well, you may have mentioned it to me, but you didn't get the details. And when you don't get details, that fine line, that fine print, that fine print will kill you. It will kill your working relationship because you didn't discuss the fine print. Discuss those things with the family, and you all both get an understanding of what's going on. Let me see. I saw a couple of comments. That's a really great thing to know that they want and explain it well. Well done, mom boss and dad boss. Yes, they did. They explained it. They explained it well. Okay, let me see what you said. Oh, it's okay to give your nanny some hours off with pay if grandparents are visiting to prevent burnout. Guaranteed hours. Good comment, Tracy. Good comment. Um, so these parents had no idea what a NCS is. Um, I'm not sure. Okay, Amy. Do you mean NCS as in newborn care specialist? Or they didn't know what a night nanny is? Because most people call, a lot of the interviews that I've gone on, they call me the night nanny. So newborn care specialist, I'm trying to figure out what you mean by they didn't know, they had no idea what NCS is. I'm not sure if you meant they don't know what the term is, or they didn't know that it's that night nannies are NCSs. So if you can please expand upon that. And Emily says a portfolio is, oops, wait a minute, hold on. A portfolio is the first sign of professionalism, and then I get down on the floor with the kids to show my personality. Good job, good job. I think they did, they just didn't know the term. That was my impression too, Susan. That they knew what they wanted. They knew that they needed someone at night that knew uh, about babies and taking care of twins and sleep patterns and sleep. If nothing else, they knew they wanted to sleep somebody who knew how to put their kids to sleep and get them to sleeping overnight. And I think everyone, um, even if they don't know the term NCS, everyone associates a night nanny with you're here to help my children go to sleep. So, in my opinion, that's just me. But and that's according to the interviews that I have been on. Now, um, I hope you all have learned something from tonight's from the parents, and I think that I honestly think they have a great um, story as far as hiring the nanny that was the nanny. Um, to me, if I was hiring my nanny to be my kid's nanny, that would be a load off my mind because I already know this woman and I already trust her and I know that she did well by me. So I know that does a night nanny equal to an NCS? Hmm, good question. We need to have that discussion. Thank you, Amy. Let me write this down. We're going to have that discussion right here. Does a night nanny equal to, yeah, excuse me while I write this down, because I've done both. And yes, Amy, you have sparked something inside of me because I've done both. Before I officially took the training to become an NCS, and to be an NCS, you don't necessarily have to have the training. It is great to have the training, but I was thrown into situations where I was there with newborn babies, and whether it was daytime or nighttime, brand new out of the hospital, I was technically an NCS simply because I had the training. And when I shouldn't say training, I had the experience of working with newborn babies. I had the many years of working with newborn babies, and as far as the classes, I took classes at hospitals. Uh, the training that I did to volunteer in the hospitals, they made sure that we had special training to volunteer at the hospitals, which helped me a lot with working with newborns and moms of newborns. So that's a good discussion of night nanny versus NCS. And I'm glad that I took the NCS training because it taught me even further that you don't know what you know until you know it. And when I took the training, it let me know that all the things that I have been doing over the years was what an NCS is trained to do. So, like I said, Amy, that's a good discussion. Angel said she doesn't think it's the same, and NCS teaches the parents. The night nanny offers rest and relief. Okay, I beg to differ, Angel. A night nanny does offer relief, and I totally agree with you. And the NCS does the same too. A night nanny offers relief, and an NCS offers relief. And personally, I can't talk about anybody else, but I know personally, I have taught families, and I say families because there were many. I have taught the parents. I have taught the families. I mean, just little things, little tricks, and little tips to make their life smoother. To make change, even just as simple as having those little sleep sacks. It's different when you have a sleep sack that zips from the bottom up so you can go directly to the pamper instead of having one that zips down and you got to take all the clothes off and then they get cold and the baby's wide awake. Just saying. It's just those little bitty things that help. Now, I'm not saying that the night nanny can't do that. And night nanny can't teach that. NCS, I'm not saying that the NCS does that either. But those are things that we both offer. The creature says, I'm not an NCS, but I offered parents advice. Yes, as a nanny, period, part of our job is when we notice things about the kids and we know it's not right or something, their patterns change or something, we talk to the parents and we tell them, I'm noticing this and I'm noticing that, and uh, this is what I have seen in the past. I'm not saying this is what is going on with your child, but you might want to get it checked out. Or, they ask you for suggestions. What do you think I should do about the child? He's not doing this and he's not doing that. What are your suggestions? They ask you your suggestions. Your suggestions are teaching them because they don't know. Just saying. Oh, Angel, so that means you are an NCS, an educator. I do love the jammies that sip from the bottom. Yes, I love them too. But I was educating before I took the training. So does that make me not an NCS? Just because I didn't take the training, because I didn't have the training when I was teaching the other families? Or is it more important that I am an NCS now? That's a discussion. We're going to have that discussion. Uh, who did I take my NCS from? I took it from uh, Newborn Care Solutions. I was there for their new Kappa class. I was there taping live, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of learning. It was a lot of enlightenment. I came out of that class feeling more confident because I'm like, I know what I know, and I do what I know because I know it works. And to find out that there are technical terms and there are scientific terms and there's reasoning for what I do, sometimes we do things just out of instinct, just because we know this is the right thing to do. But when you find out, oh, is that what I was doing? Is that what it's called? That just kind of a lot of things just kind of blew my mind because I have been isolated in the nanny community for 17 years. I just basically came out of the closet in the nanny world, um, and figured out that all these nanny things existed back in 2000 and is it 2016, 2017. This is um, yeah, 2017. That's when I discovered INNTD. That's why I'm so passionate about INNTD because it changed my life. It changed me. It has such an impact on me. And that's why I am so passionate about it. What was it? Oh, It was oh gosh, newborn care solutions. I'm sorry. I had a brain fart for a minute. Sorry. Newborn care solutions with Tanya Sakowitz. Susan, I'm glad I came out too. Now let me make this clear. When I say come out of the closet, I meant come out of the proverbial nanny closet and come into the world of nanny groups on Facebook. Come into the world of there are more nannies out there than just a couple of few that I see at the park. In my back of my mind, I knew this, but I never was able to interact. And it's a totally different thing to be able to interact with other nannies, which is why I'm so big on nannies, the nanny community, and us loving on each other and us helping one another. And, if we need something, we can go to each other and say, hey, I need this or I need that, because I didn't realize what I was missing. And now I'm like a kid in the candy store. It's like every time I stop, I'm like, ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that? That's me. So if I seem a little over the top, it's because, when you have been in isolation for so long, it's like your eyes being blind and then now you can see, or being deaf and then you can hear, and you want to hear everything and you want to see everything, and everything has all these vibrant colors that you've never seen before. That's me right now, because I feel like I've been missing. I'm 50 something years old and I've been missing all this for the last 18 years. So yes, that's me. Uh-oh, hold on, someone said, Janice said that was a revelation to me too. I figured out what worked and it was what I should have done. Love Tanya's course. Me too. Um, let's see. Angel Bay says, Amen. There are some things I do that I don't know how I learned it. I see what you mean. A night nanny, as long as you have experience, is such an asset. The extra NCS training is a bonus and confirmation. Exactly. Exactly, exactly, exactly. Susan says, as yes, I was a nanny well before Facebook connected us. This is great. Yes, thank you, Susan. So you came out of the closet too. Thank you. Now, it is now 8:02, and I'm trying to keep it at an hour so that I can be mindful of your time and mine, because I work overnight now. So, um, thank you all for joining us. Be sure to be back here next week. We're going to have Stephanie. Let me get this name right. Stephanie Felsenberg of Be the Best Nanny. She's going to be here and talk to us. So be back here next week to have our special discussion with Stephanie and Be the Best Nanny. Oh, okay. I thought I missed something. Somebody wrote something. Okay, so, and ladies, like I said, if you haven't ordered your t-shirts or you showed interest in wanting a t-shirt, please let me know. Contact me, message me tonight on PM me on Messenger so I can get your order in. It usually takes about 5, 6 days turnaround, and I will let you all know when the shirts will be shipped out so that you can have your beautiful shirts. And we do have purple now, so if you want a purple one, if you didn't order a purple one and you chose one of the other colors, but you want a purple one, please contact me now before I turn this order in, or you can order a purple one too. So it's up to you. And that's all I have for you tonight. Again, happy Valentine's Day. How you do that? Okay, there we go. Hearts. I got it. Okay, so happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Love on somebody this week. Love on your nanny sisters and your nanny brothers, and anyone else in the child care realm, the child educators, should I say. anyone in that realm, the doulas, the birth workers, everyone who touches that child, because we all have a play a part in raising that child. We are all a part of a village in caring for the children that we do. And you all have a great night. I thank you for your continued support. Stop by Ask the Nanny page, like us, leave us a review, and share, share, share. Share the video. Hit the share button to share with your friends. Share with your nanny groups, because there was some important information about what parents look for and what they expect when they interview you, and it could help someone. Just saying. I will talk to you all on next week. And you all have a great week.